Today we're in Klungkung, East Bali, a place filled with culture, history and a few surprises. Let's go and check it out. I'm starting this journey down at the alun-alun, which is basically the central field down in town. You'll have the alun-alun in all towns across Indonesia. Usually you've got a big mosque in the middle of it. I can hear a mosque around here somewhere at the moment. But these guys here are playing some sort of sport that I'm not really familiar with. I wouldn't mind asking them what they're doing down here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Lagi main apa ini?
Main football.
Woodball kalau kayu wood. Woodball biasa.
Ini apa? Dari Bali ini atau Indonesia?
Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Ya.
Dari Taiwan.
Ya. Dari Taiwan.
Berasal dari Taiwan.
Berasal dari
Ya.
Taiwan.
Pengembangannya.
Oh wow. Aku baru lihat. Ini pertama kali aku lihat.
Ini event seluruh Bali.
Oh wow. Menarik sekali ini.
Karena
Aku asli Australia.
saya
Oh sih.
bahasa Inggrisnya bagus. Bahasa Indonesianya bagus.
Nama.
Banyak. Hah?
Nama?
Adam.
Ada.
Jadi semua peserta ini dari Bali.
Ya, di seluruh Bali.
Menarik juga.
Lek.
Bulele, Badung, ada Badung di sini.
Pasar.
Denpasar. Itu aku tinggal di Sanur, jadi aku mau Denpasar. Ya, benar.
Oke.
Ini istri saya di sini. Orang Bandung dia. Ya, makasih ya. Ya. Oh wow, this is a Taiwanese sport. How cool is this? Big competition. Big lomba woodball. That's a new one for me. I'm going for Denpasar because Denpasar is the kabupaten or kota, which includes Sanur. But like, you get people like smashing the ball like they're playing golf, and then you've got putting. I don't know, it's a little bit different to what I'm used to, a little bit like croquet as well. Awesome just to come down here and have a look, to be honest. I'm actually going to go across the road. They've got a thing called Puri Agung Klungkung. Might go and have a look at that. So across the road from the alun-alun is the Puri Agung Klungkung. It's basically a palace. So this palace was sort of the headquarters of the royal family up until 1908 when there was a big fight with the Dutch, really. And up until that time, this kingdom was known as one of the highest kingdoms in all of Bali. And it had real power. All we've got now is some old relics of the old times, old furniture, old ornaments and that sort of stuff. We're gonna have a little look around the grounds and see what it's all about. It's one of these places that you come to and pay a donation. It's not like a big tourist attraction, but it's interesting nonetheless. A nice little barong there. Unfortunately, some of the roof's caving in a little bit, but it's still got a bit of a grandeur about it, which you can feel that it's sort of like a royal family type of place. It's somewhere that you'd probably come, as you're doing something else here in Klungkung. And the main game here is a place called Kertagosa, which we're going to go across to right now. So this is Kertagosa. It's the most famous thing in Klungkung, I think. I think it's probably the most famous thing. It's a sort of a building or set of buildings that served as a place to resolve disputes, built in the 17th century. And not just that, it's not just interesting from a historical perspective, but there are actually some quite beautiful things to see here as well, such as the gardens and some artwork. But I really like this sort of floating pavilion here with all the big lily pads. And it's in this floating hall that you have, or the floating pavilion, that you have most of the best artwork on the roof there. It's quite beautiful, I'll show you.
Classic painting.
that little pavilion over there, that's where the judicial proceedings would take place. We're going to have a look at it. I mean, these are the sorts of attractions that I really like to visit because they don't take up the whole day. You breeze through them like really quick, but they're mildly interesting. I quite enjoy just zipping through here, take a few photos, have a look around. If you like history, you can dig really deeply into it. If you don't like history, you can just enjoy the views and the picturesque nature of it. I really love it. And that looks like where they would have been doing their little judicial proceedings, sitting up here on high as the people down below probably scrambled to get a view. And then straight over that way, they've got that great view over to the floating pavilion. Interestingly, Costa Gorsa is right in the middle of town at the big roundabout. And what you'll find down that road there, that main road there, lots of shops that you can go and have a look at and see what they're selling. Real local style. It's not like for tourists. And I think that's interesting as well. It's not like markets. They're more like proper shops. Like there's a fan shop down there and like a motorbike dealer. Doesn't sound too interesting, but it's just nice to see the busyness of the main shopping street, the high street. On the grounds, they've also got a museum, which we're not going to go and have a look at today, but if you're a history buff, definitely something you need to go and have a look at. I think what I might do now is just have a little walk down that main street there, just to get a feel for some of that business that I really love in some of these smaller towns across Bali, see what's going on, and then we'll continue our journey on to Cinnamon. Yeah, it's kind of what I was talking about. Here's your fan shop. Like, they've got other stuff too, but fans are their biggest business. In Indonesian, it's kipas angin. Oh, that was that dude selling. Oh, that's like a that's a hardware store. Oh, Billy Coffee, a coffee shop. That looks pretty modern too. That looks nice. And then shoe shop. Oh, that's that. Oh, it's thongs. Toko Gapura. Well, that's an old sign. I love it. Love the old signs. Yeah, these sorts of main streets, there's quite a lot of them in Bali, in some of the smaller towns. Even in Denpasar, you've got shops like this with the old signs at the top there. And they're still trading as they normally would. They haven't sort of been decimated by malls and that stuff, which I really like. Oh, there's a gold shop over there. So, that looks like old crockery. That's all old crockery. I don't know, antique crockery, I'd say. It looks like it. Then we get to a sort of a more traditional market area here where we're selling jajanan or snacks. And there's another gold shop in there. I might actually go in there. And it is a pasar. We'll go and have a look, see if it's open inside it. Don't know if it will be, we'll have a look. Oh, they're selling little nasi bungkus, nasi kuning. Oh yeah. Well, that's cool. Look at this over here. Big picture on the wall. That's nice, isn't it? I really love that. And this seems to be all the gold shops. Oh yeah, heaps of gold being sold here. Jewellery, gold, buying, selling. And it's air conditioned in this traditional market as well. Not everything is open. And most of it is gold related. Like I'd say, 80% would be gold related. Got a few shops selling knickknacks as well. Yeah, really interesting. And I like to sort of come down some of the back areas where it's all closed up. Sometimes you find like an odd shop just open down there. No idea what they're doing. A little boutique. That's pretty cool, eh? Yeah, unfortunately, most of the shops are closed now. I'm not sure if that's because it's the holiday season, because it is not too long after Nyepi and Lebaran, which is the Muslim holiday. It's probably got something to do with that, I'd say. But still, there's a lot of people down here buying and selling. It's actually one of the things that I noticed that a lot of Indonesians like to do is, if you've got a little bit of money, buy some pure gold jewellery, and it's almost like an investment, but you can wear it as well. You know, it's a bit old school, but it's sort of a good way to sort of store your value of your money rather than risking some sort of economic crisis and losing it all in the bank. That's sort of a cultural thing that I see a little bit of as well. The other thing about that is that a lot of Indonesians won't be afraid to melt down old jewellery, which they don't really want anymore. If it's gold, they're quite happy to melt it down and get the money for it, or make it into something else. It's not as the heirlooms aren't as strictly sort of protected, I guess, as they might be. Quite often in the West we have these heirlooms that we protect, but not. I sort of get the feeling that maybe it doesn't happen as much here in Indonesia. Of course there are still some, but people are much more willing to go and melt something down if they need the cash. I really love it. It's still got that really a bit old school feel to it that I really love. You know, it's like the olden days, and it's something I'm really drawn to, that olden days type feeling that is sort of being lost all around the world, including in Bali in many places, but still is here in places like Klungkung. This monument here is a dedication to the Puputan, which happened in 1908 and marked the end of the kingdom that I talked about earlier. What happened in 1908 is the Dutch were at war with the Balinese, and the Balinese were going to lose. You know, they were outmatched with the weaponry and so forth, and the Balinese decided to do a mass suicide, including the king. And there are 200 people who did a mass suicide in the face of the onslaught of the Dutch. And this is a monument to that sacrifice and that event. It's quite tragic. A puputan is something which happens in Balinese culture occasionally, and there are other puputans that have occurred in Bali over time, and you'll see different monument puputan around Bali if you go to certain places. There's even one in Denpasar there that you can go and have a look at as well. Oh, look at that. Just on the way to get a coffee and a little pastry, and I found this little house. Little old colonial era house, maybe built in the, I don't know. Sometimes you think those houses are built in the 30s, but they're actually built in the 50s. So it's not colonial era, but still with the old styling. So we just stopped in at a place called Cerita, which actually means story in Indonesian. Just up from that roundabout and that monument Puputan that I just showed you down the road, maybe 100 metres, just stopping for a coffee. Let's check it out. Oh, that's really good. An iced coffee loaded with like brown sugar. Loaded, I mean really loaded. It's pretty good and really cold because it's pretty hot today. I wasn't going to come over to see this monument Puputan, but Susan said, no, you got to go and have a look at it. It's awesome. So I'm coming over to have a look inside, see what it's like. Oh, that is cool. Got these little dioramas and an explanation about the fights they used to have with the Dutch and the pillaging and the raping and the people standing up to colonial rule. It's what we like to see, isn't it, really? The David and Goliath fight. And then in the end, this is the monument basically to David winning over the Dutch. It's quite cool. Yeah, that is cool. I mean, that's something that you probably should come and see. I mean, you don't need to be in there all day, but it's certainly another thing to see when you're over here in Klungkung. And the thing about Klungkung is it's not a place that most people are just going to come to because they want to come to Klungkung. They're going to be doing it as part of a bigger day trip or on the way to somewhere else, and that's fine too. But there's actually quite a lot of stuff here to see. So if you're on the way to somewhere like Cinnamon, like we are, or if you're on the way up to Ahmed, and you've got a car and a driver, like come and spend a couple of hours at least having a look around here, because it's fantastic. What we're going to do right now though, is rather than go straight to Cinnamon, there's a couple of other little spots. There's sort of these B-grade attractions that I talked about around town that I just want to check out. So let's get stuck into those. So this is a place just on the outskirts of town. Actually, if you've been in Bali a long time, before that big bypass road along the coast was built, you'd always come across this little bridge here when you pass through Klungkung and pass this thing called Kaliunda. In the past, it looked spectacular, but no one would have ever stopped there. But these days, they've actually made it into a little bit of a tempat wisata Kaliunda. I just had to stop filming there because there was someone completely naked having a bath in the river. So I'll keep going over here. But this is what it looks like. And it's pretty spectacular. Look at that, beautiful. Peaceful little area around here. Oh look, you can go down here. Well, that's pretty sketchy, isn't it? Oh, nice. I mean, it's not a place that I'd probably want to swim. I reckon we're pretty far downstream here, but there are people having a bath in here, so I guess it's all about necessity really, isn't it? Yeah, really nice little spot. Another one of those tempat wisata or tourist attractions here in Klungkung. Just slightly further east from that river and further east from Klungkung, probably, 3-4 k's away. I'm now bashing through the bush to try and get up to the top of a place called Bukit Belong. Doesn't seem to be a popular tourist attraction, but it looks like someone, at least at some point in the past, has been up here because there's some sort of scrambly path here. And I just wanted to get to the top of it and have a look. A little hill in the local area is always a good place to go and survey the area. And that's what I want to do. Oh wow. It's all grassy. You don't see that too much in Bali, except in rice fields. But I don't think it's too far up. We'll have a quick walk up here. Oh, now I'm into this. That's not great. This is snake territory for sure. I want to go up. Oh, don't like it. But what is an adventure without getting lost just a little bit and having to bash through the bush? It's around about this time that most people turn back looking up there into the forest. I don't think that's probably worth going up there anyway because you're going to be blocked by trees when you're looking for views, but I have a little bit of a view over there. Well, I can see Geweka Cultural Park, you know, the big Garuda. I can see that on the bukit down there. See a big plume of smoke, someone burning off. I can actually see Sanur, which I'll try and point it out. It's hard to see on camera because it's so small, but it's probably just there because I can see the actual old Grand Inner, which is quite a long way away, but you can see it because it's quite a beautiful day today with hardly any pollution, despite someone having a big burn off down there. I'm not going to go to the top of this hill. That's good enough for me. Bukit Belong, probably something that you don't need to come to. But, you know, if you're just cruising around, looking at stuff and just having a bit of an adventure during the day, why not? Why not? It's all about, for me, all about going around and checking it out, seeing what's there. Maybe I'm going here so you don't have to, that sort of stuff. But I love it anyway. At this rate, we'll never get to Cinnamon. We'll be just stuck in the bush. But I better get there and settle into this hotel because even though it's not late yet, it will be late if I don't stop stuffing around like this. On the way down, there's a nice little view across to Nusa Penida. That's a great little view actually. It looks so close. You know when you go across to the islands, Nusa Penida I've never been to, but Lembongan at least, it takes forever to get across there, and from here looks so close because it's so clear. Looks beautiful too. Actually, it is a little bit closer from here than it is from Sanur. There used to be, I don't know if there still is, but there used to be a little local boat that went across from the black sands of Kusamba back in the day. I remember people used to load up all their worldly possessions and the stuff that they've brought back from the pasar and load up down there because it's a shorter journey, but I'm not sure if that goes anymore. That's a little bit of an old school way, but it was a fairly quick way to do it back in the day. So we've just entered the Cinnamon area. The Cinnamon area is a valley that runs north to south, and you look at some of those views over there, they are unreal. And the good thing about this valley is that you can get accommodation right on the rice fields and have a very peaceful time looking towards Gunung Agung, which is straight up ahead of us. If you have a look at that view, you can just see up there on the horizon, just above the clouds, you can see the top of Gunung Agung. I love it here. So we've arrived at our accommodation for the night in Cinnamon, and it's a beautiful place. They only have 4 bungalows in a beautiful garden setting. Apparently, well, I can see it, but Gunung Agung is just up there in the mornings. It's apparently spectacular and easily viewed. There's a bit of cloud in the way at the moment, but these bungalows, they're great. Little swimming pool down there. Here's your, well, a little terrace, which is, well, it's not little, it's quite big, really generous. A great little room. Massive bed with mosquito net. Of course, it's AC, and it is really cold in here. Little bar fridge. They've given us a couple of icy cold bottles of water. Let's have a look around the back here. Oh, umbrellas and so forth. Little basin, and then outdoor bathroom. Nice outdoor bathroom. Look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it? And if it's raining outside, you don't even need to put your shower on. Just stand under the rain. Love it. Now, I'm going to do a full review of this place in a separate video, and I'm going to continue these adventures in Cinnamon in a separate episode as well. So keep an eye out for both of those videos. I might actually do a couple of more videos here at Cinnamon because we're here for a couple of nights, and there's a lot to see and do around here. And there's a market, and there's some rice fields, and there's some mountains around the place, some waterfalls, lots of things to see and do. So keep an eye out for those. And thanks for coming along today. And thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur and a little bit of Cinnamon. I'll catch you next time.